I can't say we're live in Edinburgh
I
anymore.
know, we're live from Ancaster.
Ancaster.
Last time we were live from Edinburgh, but we are back with our business hats on, talking about messaging, but lots to share from Edinburgh. This ties in.
Yes.
Because if you haven't seen our lives in the past, or you haven't been following us, hello, we're Eric and Lise Pizik. We run Infinite Design House. It's marketing, branding, strategy, messaging, and I do this thing called solo theater on the side. So we were in Edinburgh.
Just a little thing.
Just a little thing, you know, for a month at the largest arts festival in the world, the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Had a great time. Had some ups, had some downs. Won't get into that today. But what I want to get into is when you go to the largest arts festival in the world and the way you get audience and the way you get butts and seats. We did run some Facebook ads, which I think really helped.
Yep.
But it's literally old school. Like, posters are up all around the city and people are walking and they're just looking at your poster and deciding whether they want to go see that show. Or you're handing out like old school, it's called flyering, and you're handing out flyers and you are quickly, like in 10 seconds, trying to give someone the quote unquote elevator pitch to get them to come to your show as they're like walking down the street and there's like hundreds of people doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So it really made me aware of how important the words that we use. Like, for me, it was the title of my show and that like one or two liner, that elevator pitch that had to be unique and strategic and clear and succinct. And I was like, wow, I had become such a master of describing what my solo show was all about and why someone should come and see it in like 10 seconds. The same goes for your business.
Yeah.
Because that's, I think it's 7 seconds now is how long people are staying on a website, a
six or
funnel.
7. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the same thing.
It's like nothing.
And I'm sure you've had this before where you've gotten on a coffee chat, or you've gone to a networking event, or you've been introduced to someone. And you're like, hey, you know, how are you? What do you do? Like, tell me about you. And you get into a conversation. Maybe it's not short and sweet, like a quote unquote elevator pitch. And you really like the person and you like their energy, but you're like, I just don't know. I still don't know what you do. Like, have you ever had that? Where you're like, God, I really like this person, but I don't know if I would work with you and I don't really know how you'd help me. And that's a bummer. That sucks. That's a big problem to have when you do good work and you put good work in the world and you are the solution to someone's problem, but you can't articulate it in a way that connects the dots for them to go, oh my God, you're exactly who I've been, searching for. Let's do this kind of thing. So branding, which I know is your kind of forte.
Yeah.
It's so much more. Like, tell them about why it's so much more than just logos, color, font. Like, the words, I don't think people equate the words that you use with branding. I think people equate branding to fonts, colors, look, logo, style.
Well, yeah, it depends. Like, some people do. I think some people do associate it with that. But like, when you think of a brand, like let's say Apple, right? For instance, because I know everybody probably knows what Apple is or what it looks like, or you can envision, or if you've ever passed by an Apple store. So Apple isn't that little icon, right? When I say Apple to you, what do you think about? Innovation,
technology, ease. I can work from my phone anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Okay. What do you see? What do you see? Like, if I had to say, describe Apple to me. Describe the Apple brand to me.
What do you mean? What do I see? Like iPod, iPad, Mac
that's the products. But that's the products.
What do I see?
Yeah, as a brand, is there branding?
They're cutting edge.
Yeah, is there branding fresh. Like boring?
Simple.
That's a good word. Yeah.
It's elevated.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Okay.
It's sleek.
Yeah. Do you find Apple, if I said Apple is a busy brand?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Right? Very simple.
Yeah.
So like that's branding. That's part of branding is that experience, and you as a consumer experience that with that brand.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's
your
anybody.
experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's branding.
So what I'm hearing you say is that it's the experience. Branding is the experience that you have with somebody from start to finish.
Yeah.
Or a brand or a product or a service.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's.
And you can, when you create that brand, you create that experience that they want to have.
And it's.
Or you hope to have, they have.
And it starts from that very first conversation that you have, that very first interaction, that very first look, feel,
whatever it is. Yeah. Brochure, website, landing page, checkout person, the store, anything you name. Like there's so many things you get with that.
And it was so cool, being in Edinburgh. I performed my show, well, supposed to be 21 times. Unfortunately, I got sick and had to cancel for the first time ever 2 performances, which was a bummer. But still, it was 19 performances, pretty much almost every day I performed. And it's what I learned about myself too was that it's so little about the words that are coming out of my mouth. Mm-hmm. Like that's one piece of it. But my voice, my tone, my physicality, my body, that's what brought the characters to life. And it was an experience for the audience. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing when it comes to your business. The words that you use are one piece of the pie. That's where it starts. That's the most important piece. Then when you get the colors and the logos and the fonts and all those things on top of it, your brand sings. Yeah. And I think everybody does branding in reverse. They go, oh, I need a personal brand, or I need a brand. I need to start looking at my logo. And it's like, no. You got to get the words. You got to get the message. You got to get the experience right first.
Yeah. And the personality.
And the personality, right?
It's like a personal brand.
That's why we buy into people.
Yeah.
We go, I don't know what you do, but I want my life to be like yours. Or I don't know what you have. I don't know how you achieved that, but I want that. Yeah. And it's this full body, fully sensual, like sight, smell, touch, sound, experience that makes you go, I want that. I want what they have.
Yeah, it's all the 5 senses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it starts with the words. And that starts with branding.
Yeah, like for me, like to bring back to your show in Edinburgh. So like we were like comparing. So we found out. So while we were there, we found like 2 other shows that were very similar to Lisa's in terms of content. And we were like, why?
Yeah.
There was one out of the 3 that was like kicking butt, like totally kicking ass. And they were like selling on every show. They had a shorter run.
Three of our shows all are the root of narcissism.
Yeah.
Is basically overcoming narcissism, narcissistic parents, narcissistic mothers. Yes, and one was a stand-up comedy show. One is mine, which is a solo musical, and then another was like a full-blown, like theatrical, full cast show.
So,
and yes, the full cast show crushed it.
Yeah,
sold out run.
And we get that there was a full cast and they were flyering every day and blah blah blah, all that stuff. That's great, but what if from our marketing brains, what it came down to, we're like, they talked. Because we would ask like people who came to the show, what made you come to the show? What did you decide to bring you here? And a lot of it had to do with, one was that it was a one-woman show, but then the other was always around the theme of whatever the show was. And we looked at these other shows and we're like, wow, they really went heavy on narcissism.
The Mind of the Narcissist was the name of the show. It was right in the title of the show.
And what was the other one?
Mom Slaughter, which is funny.
But it talked about.
Yeah. I think. It said my childhood wasn't funny, but I am, or something, because it was like a stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
But The Mind of a Narcissist completely sold out their run, and it was because everybody wanted to understand narcissism, or they had experience with. Like it was right in the topic. It was right in the title.
In your face.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Right. That's so smart. Like. So mine is too big for her britches, because that was a phrase that was always said to me as a kid, like, don't be too big for your britches. But everyone after the show is like, oh my God, this is about your mom. This is about narcissism. Like, I have a mother wound. I had a narcissistic mom. I had a narcissistic dad. I had a narcissistic brother. I had a narcissistic sister. I had a narcissistic ex-husband.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's your journey of overcoming being raised by a narcissist. And I'm like, yes. why aren't I saying that?
Well,
So like the light bulb
Because-
went off.
yeah, but I think to answer that quickly is because it's a negative, right? And
It's not well, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm saying the word narcissist is a negative word, and like when we think of like marketing, you don't want to.
We're not pain pointy.
You don't want to put out,
marketers.
oh, this is about.
Yeah.
So
but
we tried to steer away from that and stay positive about the experience. When in reality,
just gotta say what it is.
Yeah, for this venue, for this event, it was very literal because back to your point, it's 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And these people literally, you walk into an event, any venue, there's like 400 of them or something crazy.
A lot.
Every single one. Imagine your kitchen table just full of these little 4x6
Cards.
flyers.
Like business cards everywhere. Like in a table.
I'm talking about like 150 of them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, choose what show you're going to go to. That's what it was like at and they were all different. Every table was different. You're like, oh my gosh. And what do you have to look at? You're looking at the branding. That's all you're looking at.
100% branding.
100%
From
branding.
Words to the colors to the images to the logos to the look. To
first
everything.
thought is whatever the hell it is. Oh, for whatever reason, this caught my attention.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you have 3 seconds left, and they go, what is this?
And it's so funny because we created this branding course.
Yes.
Which we're going to drop the link in there.
Yeah, we'll put the link below.
That walks you through your XYZ statement, your brand emotion. And I'm so aware now that it's like, okay, well, how do we go wrong? How do we not title it what we thought we should have titled it? We didn't treat it in the beginning like a product or service.
No, we didn't.
We treated it like a separate entity. But really, my solo show, being on stage, is just another way that I'm fulfilling on my purpose in this world. Mm-hmm. It's just another vehicle, another avenue. It's not separate at all.
Yeah, if you were a client of ours, we would have probably named it differently.
We would have gone through this exact process that we put
together
in the branding course.
And ironically, we didn't.
So it's so funny when it's your own stuff and it's right before your own eyes and you go, oh my God. It took me going to Edinburgh and being in this like highly competitive environment to go, wait, we got to change some things. Yeah. We got to rename this thing. We got to re-describe this thing, the words that we got to use. We got to treat this like our business, babe. Yeah. And then the light bulb went off. So here to say, don't make the same mistake that I did or that we did. Go through this process that we have in this mini course. It's 1 hour to complete the entire 5 modules. Like you could do it this weekend. Yeah. You could do it by the end of this week. It goes through your XYZ statement, which is basically who you are, what you do, who you serve, and why the heck it matters in the world. Again, narcissist, overcoming narcissism. I'm like, oh my God, that word needs to be in there, right? It goes through your brand emotion, that experience we were talking about, how you make people feel. It goes through your brand persona, which is how you're showing up in your business because people buy you, right? They decide whether they know, like, and trust you. I know you've heard that before. Yeah. So it's really cool. It's like 5 modules, takes you an hour. There's a workbook. It's like a 12 or 13 page workbook. We've had people create business manifestos from this thing. It is the very first step. Like, so I can't believe we didn't do this with ourselves. It is the very first step that we do with every single client is essentially we put it in a course, like our very first call that we have with clients in our process, we put into a course. So you can have that, you can pick it up, you can do it. And then the bonus is if you purchase this course, this mini course, by the end of today, September 6th, is today, yes, you will get a bonus Ask Us Anything session at the end of September where we will share pretty much anything around content creation strategy, branding.
You can ask us anything.
But also a lot of people are asking my experience in Edinburgh and the solo show. I will be fresh off coming back from a TEDx talk. September 23rd, that is. I'm giving a TED talk which I'm working like really hard at. And I'm so excited. That's my next thing. Come back from Edinburgh, put the solo show on the shelf for a month or two, and I've switched to TEDx. So I'll be able to share, if you ever wanted to know how I landed a TEDx talk, how I created my TEDx talk, the words and the messaging and the branding that I put in. I did
your show.
I did go through
marketing.
this process for my TEDx talk. Just any of that kind of stuff. And people even ask us, like, how do we travel with our little guy? And like the three of us went to Edinburgh for a month. Like, how do we parent? How do we have big dreams and visions and goals and also be a mom and a dad and parent and do life? And so we just get like, I had somebody ask me all about cold plunging the other day, like our health habits. So nothing is off the table. If you purchase, you can come on this Ask Us Anything group session, and it'll be a group. So there'll be lots of people asking questions. So there will be a lot to learn about.
Or it might not be a group.
Or it might not. If you're the only person
maybe
that
you're
buys,
the only person that shows up.
maybe you'll get a one-to-one session with us.
Even better.
That's true. So we'll drop the link. It's $249 USD for the 5 modules, the 12-page workbook, and then the Ask Us Anything session. So I always relate it to, if you are stuck and you get one question answered, that's the best investment you could ever make in yourself. So I really want to get this course into the hands of people so that.
And a lot of people just ask us, like, how do I get started? Like, if you're just sitting going, I have an idea, or I want to start my own business, or I want to start a personal brand.
Good place to start.
Where do I get started?
So drop the link.
Right there.
Right now.
Drop it.
Whoa, there it is. Whoa, there it is. So, all right, that was what we wanted to share.
And if you still don't get the link, just
ask us. Just email. We're on it.
This might not post everywhere if it doesn't.
Yeah, so think about the experience. Think about the words. Are you being literal? Right? That's the most important thing when you're describing what you're doing.
I think a lot of times we get caught in the trap of like being smarter. Being clever.
Clever isn't always clear.
Clever isn't clear. And I think when me personally, when I talk to a lot of people, I'm like, that wasn't really clear. I don't know if I'd hire you.
I know.
Because I don't really understand what you do.
And it's not a lead problem. If you're, I don't really like to use the word leads.
Yeah,
that's a marketing word. It's not a people problem.
Yeah.
Like, people is people. It's not a people problem. You're having conversations.
Yeah, it's not that people don't want to work with you. It's that they don't know what you really do. Maybe.
Or even like Edinburgh. I'm like, they sold over like 2 million tickets there or something. I'm like, it's not a people problem.
Oh, no.
It's a branding problem. So don't have that problem. Pick up the course. And then we'll let you know when the Ask Us Anything at the end of September, the Ask Us Anything group session. All right, guys. Hope that helped.
Bye.
Bye.